Welcome to the guide. I'll show you the Winlator version and the startup settings. These are the app settings. Here you can download newer Box 64 versions. Box 64 presets affect performance, stability, and overall balance. This is where you create a container, basically a virtual Windows environment. Vulkan is the phone's graphics driver. Turnip is mainly for Snapdragon devices, while Vortek is more universal. In other versions, you can swap Turnip, but not here. I'll show that later. DXVK handles DirectX 9, 10, and 11. VKD3D handles DirectX 12. Here you can enable the FPS counter and CPU and GPU info. You usually don't change anything here unless you know what you're doing. Startup selection sets the number of processes. I use aggressive to save RAM. The container is ready. Let's move on. Download RARE from the link in the description into the download folder. Create a desktop shortcut. Now launch the app. I'm opening Task Manager to check if it starts properly. Now select the first option. Then copy the address to the clipboard. Open the extra keys. Don't open the Android keyboard. Select RTS. Go back to the u.txt file. Paste the text with Ctrl-V. Then save it. Open the shortcuts, exit Winlator, and open the file manager. Open the link in Chrome. Sign into your account. Copy this part. Paste it into the file and save it. Go back to Winlator and open the file again. Copy the text and paste it where I'm showing you. Click Next. It worked. Later I'll also show a backup method. For this demo, I'm using Amnesia from Epic Games. Choose the install location. Drive D is the best option. Verify it. Install it. Here you can check the download progress. I skipped the waiting part. Ignore this error. I stepped out for a second to show you something. You can lower the resolution for more demanding games. I entered it manually to fill the screen. Everything is set for HD. Here you set the on-screen buttons. I use a gamepad style layout. As always, I'm checking if the game starts. Now let's test the game. An error popped up. The drivers still aren't perfect, so not every game works. Let's try installing Lego as well. Something isn't working here either. Now I launched Winlator Ludashi. I'll put the link in the description. I'll show newer components in Football Manager 2024. These are the phone drivers. The descriptions show which GPU they work best with. These work best on my RedMagic 11 Pro. If you press and hold, you can set each shortcut separately. Use this icon to download newer components. They may help, but not always. If the game doesn't use DX12, you don't need VKD3D. Box 64 and FEX Core translate X64 and X86 to ARM. If the game was downloaded in another Winlator version, you need to import it into RARE. This is the folder with the actual game. There it is. I'm selecting anything just to make the import button appear. Done. I'm changing the keys from FM23 to make it more comfortable. I still need to load them because I didn't add them in this version. The game launched. There are visual artifacts, so I'm changing the drivers. I'm also setting full screen mode. Here I'm importing the key layout. You can also edit it. Now a short gameplay clip. Now I'll show Rare in Winlator Ludashi. It looks almost the same. These are the basic settings. I'll also show what to do if it doesn't work the first time. Here you can edit what appears next to the FPS counter. I took too long and the code expired. I'll show it again. It's the same code. I forgot to refresh the page. I tap twice to select it. Refreshing. It worked. Wait a moment for the thumbnails to load. I'm downloading Amnesia again. In this version it didn't work for me. Now Star Bionic, which is the Winlator version I use most often. I'll show you how to run a game outside Epic Games. First I'll show newer components and drivers. Here you have to add them manually. I already downloaded those 3 dots. The rest is still pending. Container settings. Launching Windows emulation. Now I'll show how to create a shortcut for an installed game. You can also run the installer here and install the game. The Witcher 3 works in DX11 and DX12, but DX11 works better. Shortcut settings override the container settings. That's what I meant earlier about DirectX. And now The Witcher 3, almost. I forgot to add the controller for automatic detection. Here it is, The Witcher 3. It takes a little longer to launch, but it's worth it.
Dowiedział się, że jego podopieczna Ciri wróciła z długiej podróży i jest w niebezpieczeństwie. Z rozkazu cesarza i na prośbę Yennefer, Geralt wyruszył na poszukiwania Ciri.
Podejrzanie wyglądasz przy tym.
I hope this guide helped. If you liked it, subscribe. See you next time.
Spróbuj się ze mną!